Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the November the 4th, 2025 Edmondson Heights Civic Association Community Meeting. Thank you all for joining me. We almost didn't have this because I forgot. But we're here. We are here, and I'm glad to see you all. I'm going to start out. I'm all over the place, just so you know. Um, I think No, I know I was supposed to send letters to the 1400 block of Kirkwood. And this letter was about, um, well, if you know, Kirkwood, between Kirkwood and Forest Park on the 1400 block, there is a triangle. And they fought us about keeping the triangle open so that those residents could use it as a parking space. But it's used for a parking space, a dumping space. We're not quite sure who, and not that it matters, but vehicles are abandoned there. There's all kinds of stuff. So, and this was one of my uh, first community meetings that I led, and but and they said, no, we maintain it. We do this, we da 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 da. And that was a crock of yeehaw. Because when I saw it for myself, it was not maintained. It did have vehicles that were abandoned, and the residents were told not to park there because they may get ticketed. Um, which I understand the we all understand the need for extra space to park. And I just, for my own mindset, I left it alone. I left it alone and let it be. We offered the opportunity to help kind of do a cleanup in that alleyway there. No one showed up to that meeting. No one was interested. So what happens, happens. But also, yeah, I was asked to send if there was anything I could do about with this time of year. We know the rodents have to find a place to live and keep warm and feed the babies and multiply and all the things rats do in the winter. So I was asked to kind of encourage some people to maintain their backyards a little bit better, just for fear of or rodents have been seen out that way. So I am not sure, saying all that to say, I'm not sure if I sent the letters or not. I feel like I didn't because I try to document when I send letters or when I not necessarily use stamps, but when I do a written communication, I try to document those. It's better for my brain. But I'm gonna say that I didn't do that, and it's we're gonna blame that on my head and not my heart, and I'll get those out to the person who or people who asked me to kind of dabble in that a little bit. Because we do have renters who either don't, we know, we do have renters who either don't read the newsletter, don't know they're part of the association. We have a lot of things going on. And some people don't have time, don't have the resources or the multiple things that um, can happen when life is lifing. So if there's someone, if you know someone who wants to pick up a couple extra bucks and helping someone kind of maybe mow their backyards or even mow their front yards, let me know. Um, but those letters will start to go out. Will go out this week, I'm sure. Um, Wanted to say that there were a couple of covenant violations that I spoke publicly about. And I want to say publicly that the terracotta porch is gone. I mean, the porch is there, it's just not terracotta anymore. And I want to thank that resident of Kirkwood for taking care of that. Now they have a gray porch. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll get it done, but it's not terracotta. And I just want to thank them for the effort. There's also Um, the 1400 Barrett Road porch. I want to thank them for taking care of the paint on that porch. It's all of the cement, though. It's all of the cement. But thank you for the effort, and we'll get to that other part also. Um, there's what's left. We got great porches all over the place, but there were a couple of really big standouts. And there's what's left is the blue porch on Langford. 15, I think it's exactly 1500 Langford. That blue porch. I don't know if the landlord is not, I don't know. I don't know. Which leads me to segue a little bit into something I didn't tell you guys. I have started to create some letters in other languages and trying to use other languages, translations to communicate because we have a lot of landlords. So that if it so just letting you know that that is possible if there's some communication that you think I should make. And I've learned, if nothing else, there's a difference between Chinese, old Chinese, there's modern Chinese, there's a lot of different things, but it has been helpful. And sending out, I'm going to try to make the effort to send out welcome letters in front and back, maybe in both languages, if they fit the same way on both pages. I had to write something down. Somebody asked me to mention. Um, oh, there it is. Sorry, and I'll bring that up. Um, I want to, well, actually, I'll just go ahead and say it. We have a resident. Well, I know that we have a couple, but we have a resident who is interested in doing a presentation to encourage block captains. I've had a couple of people um, mention wanting to be, or maybe we need them. And she's going to do a presentation. She'll let me know when. And all I have to do is just give her the floor. That always works for me. If you ever want to know what works for me, not having to do create more work for myself definitely works for me. Um, so that'll be, I'll say maybe in the new year. That's what we'll look forward to. And I guess we'll even put that together and um get Officer McWicky to speak with us about Citizens on Patrol. They should go together. We should at least try. Um, yes. Writing it down so I can come back to it. Um, let's see. I also wanted to, oh, I wanted to congratulate Edmondson Heights on, I also want to congratulate Edmondson Heights because the value of our properties have grown almost 100% since I bought my home in 2011. Which means that the association is doing a decent job. It means that um, basically your house is worth more if you ever want to sell. Your house is worth more than it was. I was informed that my house, the cost of my house is I can get all of it back if I want to sell, which I don't, because I don't think you'll let me, because I don't want to move again. I don't want to pack up anything. I don't want to do anything. There's a thing going on here. Um, there is that. There is um I saw the video on if you're part of our Facebook group of some very fun people doing donuts on Harwell and Forest Park in the section in the intersection there. Yeah, that's got to be fun and dangerous. Um, I just want to ask everyone to be safe and watch out for the crazies a little bit. And while we're watching out for the crazies and preparing for citizens on patrol, I want to remind everyone to turn your porch lights on, front and back if you can. I'm just saying, turn your front porch lights on. I have seen more porch lights because, as I told you, I walk the dog at night, and there's less time to run into other dogs. But I see more porch lights and fewer on Barrett, which amazes me. Fewer on Barrett. And if I want to, I was thinking today, kind of see what we can do, if there's anything we can do about getting more lighting. Um, but I have to encourage you to flip on a couple of lights first, just front porch, back porch, just so that we can. I know that a lot of people don't park, they have parking pads, they don't park in the back because it's darker in their alleyways. But creating lighting is like it's a community thing. We have to do it together. Um, there was a couple of national night outs ago where we gave away the motion sensor LED lights. I still have mine. And we gave those away a couple of years, and we did hear good things back about the use of those. I'm not sure if they were any good because we did have a couple of different kinds, so I'm not sure. And I think if we do it again, I'll just use the kind that I have. They don't last forever, but they work and they do have a little bit of life on them. I have one, well, the dead one's in the front. But and we have a couple on Barrett Road. We have a couple in the alleyway. Just as you go up the alleyway, it starts to light up a little bit. And that feels good if I do say so myself. Um, I have been asked to mention that we should put leashes on our dogs and just be careful. Um, your neighbor, you love your dog, but your neighbors do not. Um, make sure your dog is not jumping the fence. He is not climbing out or under or through and chasing other dogs, chasing other people. Um, because I strongly encourage everyone to make phone calls on that. I think I said it is 311. You can dial 311 for that, and they'll zigzag it to who it needs to go to. But yeah, I did get a call, a message a couple of days ago about dogs climbing over and mauling the smaller dogs, and um, yeah, we don't want that. Um, and we do have people who walk their dogs off of a leash in the middle of the day. We have, and well, I think there's actually two, and they just seem to, the dogs are very nice dogs. They walk them off the leash. They feel comfortable enough in doing that. I've never had an issue with them, but I've never had an issue. That's just me. Thor and I walk. Now we walk back on the leash, but I give him a little space to kind of run around a little bit, and I run around with my poop bag after him. So, but like I said, we walk in the deep of night. But I just want to encourage everyone to just kind of be careful and don't play with your neighbor's safety like that. And when I speak of dogs, we've got dog stations, and they are out and they are ready to be used. I've used one, you know, um, but they are out. And I want to thank the Vice President Angela Lloyd for her videos on on where they're located. I thought that was something nice that I woke up to that day. There is one on Newfield next to the mailbox. Yeah, Newfield and Claridge. We have two at the park, one on the outside of the park next to the stairs, and we have one on the inside of the park. They provide bags. They have liners inside of them so that what they have waste containers. You put the waste in there. There's liners. Eventually, we'll pay someone to come and pick those up, refresh them, clean them up, and everything. Right now, while the word is just getting out, we'll just figure out a way to do that ourselves. But once it's up and jumping and poop is happening and being disposed of, we're not expecting a problem with anyone having to deal with the smell or anything like that. The one on Newfield, Newfield's requested one. We do have one left. We have four. We have one left. Couldn't figure out where to put it. We were sitting it aside for the elementary school, but they had a lot of, they weren't sure at the time. And but then we realized that they received grant funding. So if they want one, they'll probably just get it themselves. And we can, I don't know, we can offer to, because it's us whose dogs are using the school ground and stuff, and we can probably offer to put them on the pickup list when we get ours picked up. Um, it's I'm sorry. And in this, I was going to go, hey, Angie, can I throw this to you? But she wasn't ready, and neither was I. Angie, can I throw this one to you? Are you ready?
Sure.
All right, Angela Lloyd, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. I guess it has been now 2 Saturdays ago. We had another successful dumpster day. Appreciate everyone that actually came out to participate and utilize the dumpsters that are given to us by the county as a free service for us to dump our household unused items, which is a good thing, and I'm glad that they're continuing it. Next one is going to be in April of next year. I want to say the date is the 26th, but I have to verify that.
I thought it was the
And
26th, 25th.
the 20, yeah, so it's one of those. I just have to verify the date, and I'll get it before we actually get off the call. Um But what we do need is volunteers. Strongly need volunteers because as vice president and as the president, we are the only two, if our board is not available, to be there to do a setup, a breakdown the day before, pick up from storage, and the day ending to take back to storage. So what's becoming daunting is us just actually getting our supplies there so we can be presentable when we're greeting our guests. And what we want you guys to do is to be respectful when we're doing that setup. I had an individual before I actually got to set up, I set cones out. The dumpsters contractors were there and they were actually laying down our dumpsters, and I had my cones out, and some really nice neighbor, okay,
No, keep
and
going.
some really nice neighbor flew past me. So I'm walking down, just giving them some instructions. If you give me a second, I'm not set up yet. And that turned into a verbal altercation. And what I do not ever want to have to do is to go back and forth with an adult um, on instructions speeding past a cone that was set out as a protection. So for us, it's to notify you guys that we're actually in the process of setting up. Truck was there. I hadn't gotten anything out. And when I'm talking to him, he becomes irate because he tells me he's already been there before, which is one, I understand that. And this is while they were actually setting up. So at least give the contractors time to get there to get the doors open, because they may open the doors, sometimes they may not open the doors. That's a good indication that we are not really ready to receive. So our start time is 8, whether it's printed out at 7:30 or even at 7 o'clock. They're not there until about 7 o'clock. They're not setting up until 7. Just give us that grace period until 8 so we can set up. And this is where the volunteers come in. So next cycle for our dumpsters, we're going to have specific dumpsters for certain items. So we're going to put out a survey about what you want to dump. So what we have been receiving is household items, yard waste, a request for like the electronics, like microwaves, washers, dryers. Someone asked about tires. We cannot take tires. We cannot take paint. We cannot take large pieces of concrete. And it was something else that someone asked that we cannot take. So what we want to do is just to identify specific things that you guys are. One is, I do know 2 of the dumpsters are going to be more so like your yard waste and trash. We're going to have one specifically for wood, because according to this last contractor, if we have wood items, metal items, and trash items, and other items that haven't been identified, the actual contractor will have to sort them out before he actually takes them to the landfill to dump them. So what we want to do is to be proactive on our end with having identified canisters, dumpsters with certain items inside of them before they actually leave the actual school parking lot. So that's where the volunteers come in. So if we put a request out for volunteers, and they don't have to be the board members at all. Some of the individuals that are actually utilizing them, if we could get you guys to come up to do an hour, we would need at least 6 volunteers, but we're actually managing them, where we would have someone that's actually directing people that's coming in for traffic, just so it'll be an easy flow in and flow out, because some individuals want to come in the parking lot and turn around and go right back out. But we want it to be an easier flow so individuals can actually drive through. And there, we actually posted exit signs this year, so it's giving you a better indication. Don't do a turnabout in that area, because someone may be dumping, and we don't want anyone to get hurt or injured on doing our event. So just follow the instructions of whomever is going to have the cones are going to be out, which is a clear indication that don't drive through that area or allow someone to actually greet you when you're coming in, so we can give you directions. That's the whole purpose of putting the cones out and allowing us to get set up so we can give you instructions. One thing we didn't do this year, and don't think we did it on last year, was actually requesting whether or not you wanted to do your dues, because we can't do that. But if you do want to, we have your name, address on the list. We can check you out just to let us know who's coming to the event, how many people are coming, how many neighbors are actually utilizing this, because this seems to be one of the great events that everyone wants. So we want to continue to do it, but we want to do it on a safe measures. Like, we don't want individuals doing what this individual did this past one. That is not going to be tolerated at all from anyone. And it's a level of disrespect for your leaders, for this community, for you to not acknowledge that someone was actually standing there, whether or not you had been to the dumpster prior to me actually getting there, or whomever was there. Just be respectful to us, because we are doing this out of the kindness of our hearts. We're getting up extremely early in the morning to get out there to make sure that we greet the contractors that are there at 7 o'clock, and they are getting there prior to 7 o'clock, because I don't know why they rode down my street before they actually got to the dumpster, but they did, and I was directing them there, so I was literally right behind them, but they were literally there trying to get set up, and someone was coming in just utilizing it, and they went back out the wrong way. So just allow us to get there. to set up. How about you guys do this for us? Meet us there and you can help us set up. And then if you can't stay the whole entire time that we're actually there from 8 until the dumpsters are 4. I think our cutoff time is at 12. They were moving really swiftly this year. Once a dumpster was filled, they was coming to get it. So by the end of the event, all of our dumpsters were gone by a good time. I want to say it was before, I know it was before 12. And I want to thank Kimberly and Leah for actually helping us out with taking the things back to storage. And thank you guys for actually stopping past that table to acknowledge what another resident was actually doing and want to do for the community. We like to see that you guys are taking the initiative to do. If you're introducing something, that's great. And bring it out so everyone can be there. The table was set up. It was a nice event, nice engagement that we actually greatly appreciated. But volunteers are needed for this, and I can't stress it enough because I actually did speak to one of the guys that was there this year. He lives directly across the street. When you see us out there, you know, at least because I think it probably would have went a tad bit different had it have been a male versus a female talking to a male. But if directions are coming, take your directions and abide by the directions because we're giving them out for a reason. It's for our safety, for us. And if we're trying to implement something new starting in our next dumpster day, then we have to at least let you guys know ahead of time to be prepared to so that way you can't say you were not notified or you weren't informed about it with the changes that are coming. So I just wanted to make it's actually a nice plea that you guys would at least adhere to what we're doing when we're there, because like I said before, we are volunteers ourselves. You know, so this is something that we're doing out of the kindness of our heart, just to make sure that you guys are getting to use them and get rid of some waste inside of your yard where you don't actually have to pay someone to come and get it from your yard. You can actually bring it up to the actual school parking lot because that's where we do it every year. And if you need some type of assistance, it was I forgot his name because he actually came. I actually hired him to do some dumping from me actually before the dumpster. We can get you in
Dante.
contact with Dante. We can get you in contact with him. And if you have something there at your house that you physically cannot lift up and we can't do it, you know, lift it up for you, then his services are available. So we have some things that we have implemented here just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to come up and utilize that. So we don't want a couple bad actors preventing us, or at least not moving easily through this process, because that was extremely hard. And I'm gonna be truthful with y'all. He almost made me say I'm getting ready to quit this because it was just that intense. Like it shouldn't be that intense when
Yeah, you
we
did
just.
quit. You
I
did
didn't
quit.
quit. I quit
Yeah, you quit.
for a few minutes. I did
15,
because it
20
was.
minutes, you quit. Yeah.
I did. I did. It was real. If I didn't talk about this the entire time, because Jaquisa showed up and she was like, oh, "What is going on? I don't know, Andrew. What is it?" It was just that intense. Like, sir, it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that where it was at the verge of, do I need to call 911 to have you escorted away from here and you not be able to utilize this when it's a free service? It shouldn't come to that point. All jokes aside, it should not come to that point where I feel not safe in my own neighborhood from another neighbor utilizing a free service. I that part is just like mind blowing. So that's all I had. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. To piggyback off of that a little bit, yeah, I thought I'm a wrestling fan and I was ready for that. I'm just letting you know, I was ready. One of the things when she says we need volunteers, we do need volunteers. And what I've worked on, and I'm gonna send that to Angela for Angela to check on it because someone who was potential help said, I need structure. I need to know what I need to do before I get there, which I thought was malarkey. But what I did do was create a standard operating procedure. I made a map and everything. And it was like, this is how we're going to do this. And then I've got to create a way to simpler. We have the big, but we have to make smaller, just kind of simplify it a little bit so that it's not so grand. Both our actions and the SOP. But we'll be doing that in next in April the 25th, we'll be doing it different. Like she said, we'll be separating different materials. So that's new to us. So we're going to have to ask you to kind of bear with us and see how we can do it and just kind of streamline it. When we need volunteers, it would be nice if we had a little muscle because we're acting as our own muscle. And we've had you guys do not know the experiences we've had. We've had a neighbor expose himself. Um, we've had I've been yelled at in a way that made me, yeah. But it's we do think, unfortunately, that there's a little bit more respect when someone sees a man around. And when I held up this paper, I wanted to thank Mike Poyser for coming out and helping us. Mike, he shows up. We don't ask him if he's coming, he's coming. If he's not, he's not. And then we look up and he's gone. He's done his job and he's gone. So we are always appreciative of him for that and everything he does, because he does more than this for the community. Um, um, so that was we definitely appreciated him, and we are gonna just kind of start tapping people and going, hey, you want to be come and help us out with dumpster day. I got some really good stuff, and for people who are afraid to come and dumpster dive, come and dumpster dive. Come, the doors of the dumpster, come on in. So I got some pretty good stuff. And it's just things that people don't want anymore. Don't make me tell you about it. With that, I
Jaquise, I
want
got one more
to, and I
thing.
hope she's ready. Yes, ma'am.
Jaquise, I got one more thing
Throw it
before
to
you turn it
Kim when
over.
you're done.
Okay, I sure
Throw it
will.
to Kim when you're done.
Um, I will. So with Jaquisa talking about Mike. Now Mike has been servicing the dumpster day well before we even took over. And he's an older gentleman. He will get down and dirty. This last dumpster that we was in, it had this like little grimy, sticky stuff on the bottom of it. And I was like, Mike, please be careful because two or I want to say it's two past dumpster days, he hasn't been there because he was sick. And his daughter was very protective, like, no, you can't go out for dumpster day or whatever. So we extremely want to applaud him for doing it because when I saw him, I ran up and gave him a hug because we
We need her.
miss his interaction and energy with just coming up and he don't want that at a boy. He don't want you to do this whole shout out. He probably will be blushing and walk away if he knew that we were on here talking about him and singing his praises like that. That's just how humble he is. But he just want to serve the community. So we actually need individuals that just want to make sure that we are doing right by the other residents that are here in our neighborhood. So I just want to applaud him for that. And I'm going to now turn it over to Kimberly.
And the other Michael, stop coming over to talk to us if you're not going to help. Okay,
Yeah,
Michael
yeah. Don't
Browner.
be asking us no questions and seeing us out there struggling and not help us take that tent down or load my truck back up. Don't do that, Mike. The other Mike, don't do that.
Okay, there you go, Kimberly.
Excuse me, whenever y'all get a chance, I would like to ask, say something, okay?
Okay. Is it on this topic?
Yes, it's still on the dumpster that
Okay,
you're
you can go ahead now because
first,
Kimberly's gonna segue.
Oh, okay. Because the one I went to was prior to. I didn't go to this one. Okay. And then I wanted to volunteer, but then my mom caught me for something that I had to do for her, so that took care of that. But when y'all set up, first of all, you do have a sign posted what you do not allow. Is the lettering big enough for them to see? I mean, it should be a sign that will strike out, you
So
know.
we did have those signs, and they were actually printed up. We used a couple times back, and individuals still will bring whatever they want to bring. So that's why we actually put it out in the email this time. Last time they
Hmm.
actually got postcards. So this time we're going to be doing it a little different with because some of the things that we um once you guys get this survey and let us know what you possibly would want to put in the dumpsters, we have to get authorization and permission prior to our dumpster day. So that's why when we're turning individuals away with putting things in there, it's not because we want to be mean, it's because they don't accept it, and we didn't get the prior authorization to actually have that, and depending on who the contractor is, because each company is different
Okay.
than the other. So one company may let you just put everything in there and they don't care
They don't
about that.
care. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
So this card that Jaquista's holding up right now, it actually was a postcard that went out to each resident, letting them know what we do accept and what's prohibited from that. And by us having this, I think when closer to the time that we get ready to have our next dumpster day, we're going to do
Hmm.
another drill down with letting you know once we get this information back from the survey. So be on the lookout for the survey. Make sure that Jaquista
Yeah.
has your email address so that you can actually get a copy of this survey to let us know what you want and what you would like to have to dump in. And if we can get permission for it, we will most definitely brief you guys on another meeting to let you know what's going on
Oh,
so you
okay.
can
Because
be
I
prepared.
said evidently, only reason why I said the sign, because sometimes when you put wording on certain backgrounds, you need to put it on a background where it goes out, just like when you get a Microsoft alert. Okay, there need to be a lawn like that. Unfortunately, yes. And then second of all, from my understanding, we have police officers that patrol this area. Am I correct?
They
So,
do, but
so but why?
that's during the week though, not on the weekend.
Yeah, we don't tend to, and I did put it in the SOP to just kind of inform them and ask if they're driving around, can they just kind of drive through once or twice. I did put that in there because, well, it's needed. Um,
Right, but you did tell them exactly what happened, because based on what I'm hearing, which I wasn't there, I didn't know exactly, and the way she responded, that should not have been at at all. Where
You're right, it shouldn't.
it could have been, and the way people are now, because like even now, so I don't even drive out as much as I used to at night. And I have seen, I don't know what is in the atmosphere, I have seen at least about 6 or 7 deadly accidents. Like, how do you do that? Why did you go there? You know, um, I don't know what's going on out there, but I don't know it's because of the people more on drugs, or it's just absolutely crazy. So I just bring myself in when after I do what I have to do before I go out there. So to step to individuals like that, that is a lot. You don't know whether or not you'll be on Fox 45 News at 10. Okay.
You're
So,
absolutely right. So it was a fear factor because it actually happened to me. So it was a fear factor. And to the
mhm,
point, when Jaquista came up, the individual actually walked toward me. So it
mhm.
was either going to be him getting ready to challenge two or physically hurt two females over a dumpster. So we don't know.
Did you
And that's the
report
sad
it?
thing
Did you
about
put
it.
a report
We
in?
didn't. No, I didn't. We
No,
did not.
No,
that's what you should. Everything is powerful
we
with
just
the
did a
pen.
de-escalation.
Right.
Where I walked away. So Jaquista did more of the de-escalating of it, because I told you in the midst of that, I was going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to pick up my vice presidency and give it back, because that's how bad it had gotten. Like, it had rattled me. Like, why did we get to the point where it has to be a confrontation over giving instruction for something simple as give us a second to wait? And right after that, it was an
Mm-hmm.
elderly lady. Once she saw the cones, you know what she did?
Mm-hmm.
She stopped and she waited for us to do it. And to me, I was like, I don't want to make her wait any longer. And I still wasn't set up. And I just moved the cone so she can come in. And by that time, you know, people had started to come in. But I applaud her for at least giving us the opportunity to know that those cones were out there for a reason. They were
Mm-hmm.
out there for a purpose. They just were not for decoration. And it was for the safety of the individuals, the contractors that were still laying down the dumpsters. They were
Mm-hmm.
still putting them out and opening up so I think one of them had opened up the gate. So it was four different trucks putting down four different canisters. So when they came back, each one of them was responsible for a different canister. So
Okay.
if he came back, he may not have been here to pick up that
So
one.
those folks, they left.
So
Yeah,
they were, yeah, they was in the process of leaving. So that they didn't know, why would they stop their job to come out to
Mm-hmm.
help me trying to tell him, because they saw it. It's
No, no,
not
no,
like
no,
they
no. That's
didn't.
not what I'm saying. Is that when these items are being brought to the truck to put in the dumpster, of that, they do have an official that is there to say, "Hey, we can't take that. We can't take."
yeah,
So they, so
we do. That's
No,
what we kind of have someone stationed at the dumpsters to go to kind of help
no, no, no.
and
I'm
go,
saying
okay, what?
that's you are.
no,
I'm
when they were,
saying
she was talking
someone
about when they
from
were sitting them
somebody
down.
from that company, the
Yeah, no,
actual,
they don't stay.
they
No,
don't
they don't
stay.
stay. They just
Okay.
drop the dumpsters. And when we actually put our application in, on the application, we have to specify what we want in those dumpsters.
Mm-hmm.
So if we say we
Well, we
only
have a
want
map now.
trash, you can only put in trash. So that's why we're putting out the survey, so we can get more input from the residents, what they want. Some things that they're not going to take automatically, that's going to be
Yeah,
tires, it's going to be paint, and it's going to be dead
that's
animal
always. That's
carcasses.
any
Yeah,
pickup site. That's always. But one other thing, I don't know how much money is there to get some more males to stand there. I don't even know if the offer, just like when you got people that come out and volunteer for votes, they get a little something something. Okay?
yeah,
Maybe.
they get a stipend for it. So if it has to come to the point where we are at every event that we're doing and we're being challenged, it may be something that we would have to have security there, just so we can run the dumpster event, because this one seems to be the one where people get just a tad bit more aggressive with wanting to dump when they want to dump. Because we had I had to say something to a young lady that came up. Now, she didn't run past the cones, she went the opposite way, and I was set up that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was trying to tell her, come around, let me get your address so I can, make sure that we check you in, that you were here. And she was just like all over the place. But once she came back, I actually got to say, listen, said that we had to have that conversation, but I wanted just to make sure that we would let you know what's going on. So the table is here for a reason. It's not for decoration. It's for us to actually have accountability, who's coming in and out of there, and mark them down, so we know how many residents are actually utilizing, and do we actually need
Mm-hmm.
4 containers. That's why we're doing it.
That's
We're
why
not
we do
sitting
that.
there. Yeah, we're
Right,
not
And we
right,
sitting
do,
there.
right. I
Go
mean, I
yeah,
ahead.
understand. You know what I have noticed, since we do have a oh, you know what I mean. Since we have, if you're part of the organization, why each home is not given an ID? Why? The address ID. Okay.
We
Because
check
it's
the
like,
IDs.
even
We
when I
don't.
lived, even if I lived in an apartment, they gave out IDs. Okay. Even down to like the children roaming around in the neighborhood, they had to have IDs on them at a certain hour.
Yeah, that's a little rich for my blood.
Yeah,
That's
so
a little rich
we
for my
just do it
blood.
by if they have a state ID, whatever, something with their address on it. That's all we
That's all
And
you
we
need.
don't even do that.
are taking. We
And
don't.
we really,
If
you
they
know,
come, if they showing up, they're just telling us with their address and we have a checklist, and that may be we may
Okay.
change it and make it digital, right?
Okay.
yeah,
Jacquista?
yes. We just kind of write it down to get a count. Um, we get a count, and there's email addresses if somebody wants to be on our list. Um, but yeah, we do. We kind of make it quick. We don't hold everybody up. We
Body,
go,
yeah.
hey, can we get that? Even can we get your address? I don't need the ID. You know your address. I'm good for it. It's dumpsters.
Mhm.
We invite Stella Court to come over because they're in our neighborhood too. We invite them to come over and dump. It's not a problem. It's free and it's dumpsters. I don't think it'll I don't think it's ever hurt anybody to have um foreign trash. Yeah, but we do. I think some people just want to bypass the hey, do you want to pay dues? And just say no, or I did it, or not today, or whatever. It's not that deep. It really is
I
Okay.
not that deep.
I understand why, because our last board, that was their thing. So you would get challenged. Like you
Mhm.
needed to show your driver's license in order for you to come in to dump. So I understand
I don't
why
care.
some of the individuals prior, than Jaquista being president and me to be the vice president, that we're not requiring individual to show their ID, but we will ask for the address. So I understand why they do that. Oh, we don't
To
have to
get a
show ID.
count.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
because that's how it used to be.
because
Yeah.
you'll have people that say, "Ooh, they got dumpster day," and they'll be coming from all over the place
Yeah,
to
it's
try.
we at most we want to give the Edmondson Heights community a chance to do what they have to do. We have in the past asked if someone was coming from a different community, hey, you want to make a little donation, but it's not necessary. It's dumpsters, y'all. It's not that big of a thing.
Yeah.
We did not contact the police, and it's just kind of it's almost like par for the job. It's we're gonna come in, somebody's gonna it's gonna be something.
No, but I
The
still would have let them.
fisticuffs that almost happened, and I didn't think it was gonna come to fisticuffs. I think I would like everyone to know that Angie is the muscle, and I'm the one who comes in and smooths the
Yeah.
jam over the peanut butter. That's just I'm just
Okay.
coming
No,
in
but
with the
I'm just
sweet and
saying she had that was a big fear for her.
yeah,
Okay. And the thing was that it still should have been reported as a report. Okay. This is what happened. Okay. And
yeah,
like I said, even though they come through the week, all right, it may be they might even tell their superiors, say, look, this woman was actually physically threatened, okay, and she could have feared for her life. So it's still, if anything of that kind of matter happens, some type of
yeah.
report should be written. Um, so this way it'll be a record of it, you know. And she seems,
Um,
I don't know her that well, but she seems as though that she has put in a lot and really cares about
yeah.
what she
And she
does.
don't play. She don't really play either.
Right, you know.
Um,
And last time I didn't come to the meeting because I actually fell asleep. I said, "Oh my God, it's eight
that's
o'clock."
fine.
But I'm trying my best to, and hopefully,
We
um,
appreciate you.
that I can, volunteer my time too. Just my mother takes up a lot of my time, but
That's fine.
that other than that, but I still miss one of these days when we have a flea market. Because my son said my house is an
We're on
Amazon
it.
warehouse, and I have
Yeah,
to stop.
look for information on that. We did decide to have one. We have to figure out a date. It'll be in the spring.
Okay.
I forgot to mention that I wanted to wish our um, board member Rosa. Hopefully she's recovering. She couldn't join us,
Hmm.
but normally she's out there. That's Shorty Doo-Wop is out there, usually with us, but she wasn't doing so well, and that her health came before any
Right.
of that. With that, I want to I want to pass it to Kimberly.
Wait a minute, before you
Okay.
pass it, you got
Wait,
a
wait, 1 second.
a hand, you got a hand raised.
Yeah, that's what I did. Saw it in my yes, Mr. or Mrs. Bell. I'm wondering if that's Jacqueline.
No, it's not.
Uh,
Good evening,
okay,
everyone.
I tried.
Um, I wanted to address the dues. Our dues pay for those dumpsters to be down there. Yes or no?
No,
No.
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 What do
They
the
we,
dues? What do the dues cover?
Ah, glad you
Mm-hmm.
asked. The dues cover communication between the board and the community, which is we've got, as we're using Zoom, we have a subscription to Zoom, not to break all of that down, but we have a subscription to Zoom, newsletters, stamps, anything that we use to communicate with you, things that we need um, to create the communication paper. Dues are only $20 a year. However, you do want to know that the it goes into the bank, and we use the dues that we collect to obtain an attorney to help us basically take you to court. We use the dues to help us get an attorney to help us litigate against um,
People
not
who violate the
compliance.
code.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Totally understand that. All right. Because I know initially when I moved into this community, when there were dumpster days, that the IDs had to be shown as well as your dues had to be paid. So there
Mhm.
was
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of order, I
Mm-hmm.
recall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
recall that. So it's been quite some time. I rarely use those dumpsters when you all have them down there, but
Come
hearing
on, use the dumpsters.
the hoopla that happened, I think that could have been avoided if accountability was in place for who that person was. And
Mm-hmm.
perhaps the next time, or sending them a letter letting them know that you are no longer able
You
to
banned it.
utilize
Right. Exactly.
these dumpsters because of your poor behavior. We're doing
But
Yes.
we
this.
didn't know who he was
But that's
because
what
he
I'm
just,
saying to
yeah,
you.
he
What I'm
just
saying to
stormed
you
through.
was, in the past, you would have known who they were if IDs were
Not the
collected.
way he did it.
No, so he came in
Mm-mm.
actually before we were actually set up. So when I went over to address him, by
And
that
before we
time,
even
he was
got there.
Got it.
already
Got it.
irate. Like,
Okay.
I've already been here. You can't tell me not to dump anymore. And by that time, it was no, hey, can I have your address so I can at least send you a letter so you'll know that your behavior here today was unacceptable, and you may not be able to utilize it. So it didn't get to that point where he could have given a fictitious address at that point so he could just dump and leave. And when I was telling him he had to leave, he was like, well, what you want me to do with my stuff? I was like, well, sir, you can take your stuff and then you can come back when we open up again. And he was like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do it right here. So he was adamant that he was going to do what he wanted to
Oh,
do
I would have called the
when he
man on
wanted to
him.
do.
So
Yes, I would have.
with that situation,
Yes.
and with the dues that individuals are supposed to be paying, regardless of whether it's $20 or however much it may get to be. That
Mm-hmm.
is where in your newsletters, this is just a suggestion,
Mm-hmm.
because you all had that situation that occurred. Um, you can um, put it out there that you are asking for male volunteers to come.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And give them, and I don't think that you should necessarily have to pay somebody to volunteer, because that's the whole reason that you're volunteering your
Don't
services
get
to
paid,
help
they
out.
don't get paid.
Right. So that's my thing. As a suggestion with you all, because you don't want the environment to be unsafe,
Mm-hmm.
and you want everybody to be able to reap the benefit of utilizing in a safe environment. Because I know I would not have wanted to encounter someone that was hostile, because you never know with the climate of the world that we live in today,
Right.
where anybody
Exactly.
could pull out a gun or something. So you never want
Exactly.
anything to be escalated, and you do want to have that appearance that there's a controlled situation. And when there are males, fortunately, when there are males around, you don't
Mm-hmm.
tend to have so much rah-rah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, and
Exactly.
that's just the world we live in. People don't respect themselves, much less others.
Others,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
all I had to say.
It
Thank you.
just, yeah, we just kind of um just de-escalated, and it just, hey, go ahead and do what you got to do, and just, just go.
And
um
I think it may have been reported back to our county executives, because actually in our instructions, it
Mm-hmm.
tells us that we cannot force an individual to pay dues in order for them to dump. So
yeah,
that
we just
that whole
ask and give you the
behavior
opportunity.
may have been reported back to the county executive. That's why if you come up, we take the address down and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot to pay my dues. Can I pay it? Absolutely, because we'll tell you, you have different ways that you can actually do it, but it's not a requirement. So you can utilize the dumpster. So just making that known, but it is a requirement for covenant for you to pay your dues,
Yeah.
but not to utilize the dumpsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one more thing before we move on. We did get someone who was interested in in volunteering or joining the board. I thought I would have her name, but she is 1517 Langford Road. Her name specifically is not on our list. So 1517 Langford, email me so we can go through email me. Now, Miss Kimberly.
Awesome. Well, good evening again, everyone. I just
Okay.
have two announcements. And first one is thank you guys for your commitment to the community. Like you said, this
Thank
is
you.
a volunteer service. And so I see and appreciate the work that you guys are doing. So I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you for that. I attended the dumpster day a few weeks ago. I did not participate by dumping anything, nor did I get a chance to dive and get any steals. But I did use it as a connection point with our neighbors. So I just set up a table in person in order to connect with the neighbors and see what other ways in which we as a community might want to connect. So we did do surveys for those who came out. If you were not present, we still want to hear from you. So there
Mm-hmm.
is a link to the survey. I'll drop it in this chat, and I'm sure it'll be in the Facebook group, as well as it'll come out through email if it hasn't already. So if you're seeing this and you have not completed a survey yet, it only takes a few quick minutes. Please provide us with your feedback so that we can see what the community may be interested in doing, so that we can just come together. So this is under our theme of fall into community. One piece of information that did stand out from the surveys that I did collect is that some of our residents are interested in text alerts because they may not be on social media, or they may not check their emails frequently. So I'm looking into some different options for that. And so I will pass that information over to the president and vice president to kind of vet those since the community would be using that particular function. And then with the information that you all provide in the survey, we'll use that to plan events for 2026. Yeah, so that's that. The next event on our Fall Into Community campaign is a Thanksgiving food drive and giveaway. And so for the next 3 Saturdays, I will be collecting food, non-perishable food items on the 8th and the 15th. And then on the 22nd, I will collect, in addition to the non-perishable food items, fresh foods. So that is to include turkeys, pastries, and so on. I do not have storage for a bunch of fresh food items. So I'm asking that when you come to donate, if you plan to donate those items, you can bring them on the 22nd, or if you prefer for me and a group of volunteers to do the shopping for you, we will accept monetary donations. So there is a flyer that is being updated, and I will send that information over to the president and vice president, and they will forward that out. It'll also be in the Facebook group once I get their approval on that. So my goal is to feed 50 households this Thanksgiving holiday. And so we are prioritizing our elderly population first, and then we will expand to other members of our community that are in need. So once I have the count for our elderly population who would like to receive a Thanksgiving box, I will send out a sign-up sheet for the remaining boxes that we have. And so I'm hoping that we exceed 50 households. I already have some coworkers and some church members who have agreed to do actual boxes. And so we're keeping the menu really simple to include turkey or chicken, mashed potatoes, all the fixings. So it's on the flyer. And I did the math today. And so to fill a box, it's about $40. And that should feed somewhere between a family of 4 to 6. So I'm excited about that. If you are not available on those pickup days, I just ask if you can email me. The email will be on the flyer when it comes out. And I will make arrangements to pick up your donations in the area. And then lastly, I just want to say that it's good to give, but it's better to do it in a group or with someone else. So I encourage the members of our community to get together either with your neighbor, with a coworker, with a friend, and fill a box, or just come and hang out on the 22nd. There'll be something extra there on the 22nd since it's our last drop-off day. So those are my 2 announcements. If you guys have any questions about ways to connect or this initiative for Thanksgiving, again, that information will come out on the flyer. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing you in person.
I have questions. We're gonna go over what we said, but this is for a good reason. I'm not done. An hour is a shooting point. But so this is what you do for a living.
Me? No.
Yeah.
No, I just like it. So I do. Okay. So in a past life, I have done employee engagement and operations, and I'm currently in a human resource role. And so this is one of the event planning is one thing that I do in conjunction to my actual job.
Excuse me, do you ever do clothes giveaways too as well, instead of, sometimes, like, because I was actually going to go up to the school, and I'm a hoarder. Okay. I'm like, I just realized how many pair of jeans I have. Okay. I don't even think you want to know the number.
Well, hold on to them, because we are planning the yard sale.
Okay, I mean, I have stuff that I can do for the yard sale,
I mean,
but
that's
I
fine
know
too,
that's a,
but you can set up a couple of tables.
yeah, I could do that and then have some other tables for it's free. I have to admit, I have currently right now 450 pair of jeans.
Yeah, you got a problem.
Yeah, I
So,
know. So
but we are not here to judge you.
yeah, I
We are
know,
not
but
here to judge.
I know that was called retail stress.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
I understand.
I lost a lot of weight. Okay. So I kind of went overboard. But keep in mind, like I said, I've already given a lot of stuff to people at the church. I mean, I give leathers, furs, you name it. Okay. And the next thing is the jewelry. I have to get rid of a lot of jewelry. Okay.
That's what I'm telling you. Hold on. Hold
Okay.
on till the chill falls off of the weather, and we'll give you a platform for all years.
Yeah,
And you
you
can
know
have
what?
tables and
I was a little disappointed when I saw the email about the giveaway as far as appliances and stuff like that. And then when I saw the little clause said you have to be that part of the community, I said, I had you better knock the
wow.
wig off. Ain't no man in here, right?
No. Well, I want you to hold on because I'm holding on a little bit myself too.
No,
Speaking of, I want to thank
I
Miss
just
Amanda
slapped it.
for the
I
wares.
just slapped it back on. Okay.
Uh, you all right? You all right? There's no catching in here. Nobody's
Yeah,
catching
sis,
in here.
I made y'all laugh, okay? Because
There's no catching in
we
here.
needed a little laughter in the atmosphere,
That's all
okay?
right. That is all right.
But
Um,
something for Kimberly. I know you say you're looking for stuff for Thanksgiving too. Um, I do have a lot of canned goods, and they not expired because I don't believe in that. So, like I said, I probably get with you, and if you want these canned goods that I
Mhm.
have as well, do you want those too, or you just want to strict it to just a
Yep.
thanks?
Yep. So there, we do have a preferred menu just to make sure everybody gets is fair.
Uh-huh.
But anything extra that you have, like if you want to put those, you can donate those as well. Um, if the location changes, I'll let you know. But right now, it'll be in front of Emerson Heights Elementary
Okay.
School on the next 3 Saturdays, starting at this Saturday from 9 a.m. until
Okay,
12
I'm glad
p.m.
you told me the exact
Hmm.
time because I
you
know
guys should know
I gotta.
that Miss Kimberly has a lot of ideas. And I
Mhm.
personally told her that ideas mean nothing in Emerson Heights. But um she wants me to have a glimmer of hope, and I'm gonna
Yay.
have like a speck here.
Okay,
We
great.
did discuss, we did one of the things she learned from the neighbors that did stop by her table was that you all are interested in things.
Hmm.
You're interested if you say so. But the top thing was tailgating.
Hmm.
I think we need more time to put something like that together. I think
Mhm.
it was my idea. I'm sorry.
It
I'm not
was your
kidding.
Hmm.
idea.
But tailgating, and it's just a different way to, for the most part, know or recognize your neighbor when you see your neighbor.
Hmm.
We're a community of 1,010 properties here, and we should at least come outside a little bit. Um, I have said that if Kimberly can pull this off, I will give her my firstborn
Oh,
puppy.
please.
My firstborn puppy. Um, but and I'm really hoping that this is something that she can pull off because I ain't in it. But and I help how I can, of course. We did discuss when it came to we did discuss doing more for the elderly here
Yeah.
in Edmondson Heights so that we can I personally just want to be able to just kind of go, how are you doing? We've had some
Hmm.
things happen in the neighborhood that I don't think anyone should just be left without anyone sticking their head in and say, how you doing? Um,
Yeah.
so that's kind of we have people who've lived here for a really long time. And I don't know about the things that were done before I came into this position, but we were asked what we do with the dues. We want to do something to give. We find little ways to give
Mm-hmm.
to the community also. But we would definitely, for me, it's just been getting people to commit or show up or you name walk through the door to open an email. It's a lot of different ways to say to just be on board as a community member. I'm not asking you to be a community, I'm asking you to be a community member. And Kimberly in her free time likes to do things like this, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna let her. We're gonna let her. um yeah, thank you all for stopping at her table on Saturday. She had games, she had all those things, and just to get you guys' attention, and I think it worked. You did send me an email with the survey. It went over my head. I will send that. Let's talk more about, um, I told you my realtor. I'm still in touch with the realtor who sold me my house. We are damn near best friends. Anything I need or don't know, I get to call him and he just sends me in a direction. He's a huge, huge resource to me. Because Kimberly wanted a projector, and I'll see what resource he can be, and we'll go ahead and get the things that we'd like to do. He was where the idea of during snowstorms checking to see if the elderly needed something to eat, or
Mm-hmm.
not even checking to see, but just kind of dropping off a box. That's
Mm-hmm.
where that idea came from. Um, Outside of that, Kimberly, if you have nothing else.
I was just going to say, if there are any items that are donated for the Thanksgiving drive that exceed our count as well as our need, then we can take those items and make emergency kits and
Okay.
packages of
Okay.
food that people can store in
Mhm.
their pantry
Okay.
as well. So again, Thanksgiving is just one way of us connecting, representing community and family coming together. And I think everyone is deserving of a good, hot, warm, hot, tasty meal on Thanksgiving. And so those boxes will be dropped off. I am more than confident that we'll make the 50 box. I already have a solid 10. And that's just me putting it out this morning. And I've gotten a couple of monetary donations as well. So if anyone on the call tonight or who comes back and watches this, if you have connections or resources through food banks or food distributions, anything like that that can help our community, then let me know, point me in the right direction, and I will do the legwork to ensure that we exceed our count.
Okay,
Okay. That sounds
that
great.
sounds good. Um, Really quickly, Angela and I went to the fall festival at the elementary school. I was not aware when I sent out the email that my email said, I still don't know what it said wrong, but I think I understand that it wasn't just to the community, it was for students and families of the elementary school. But we went there, the kids had a ball, and that was really fun. To just see Kimberly was there, Leah was there, and to see them just have a good time and be dressed up, and Michael
Mm-hmm.
Myers came through. There was a Chucky. There was a couple of, and they had a good time. So, and it was in a controlled atmosphere, and they had to take it indoors because it was supposed to storm that day, and it didn't. But um, it went very well, and we volunteered, and we donated candy to our police department. And when I showed up, the young lady said, "Oh, more candy." And I was like, It's not going back to my house, ma'am. It is not going back to my house. So we were glad to help out and be a part of the community with that. Um, I have a request that I'm going to try to remember to say every now and then, because Christmas is basically here. Snow, we might get it, we might don't, hopefully we don't. But I have this idea that if anyone wants to submit a picture for next year's Edmondson Heights Christmas card, I would love to receive those. It's one thing just kind of perusing through the different cards that they have, but I have wanted to um, use something from the community. I think that would mean more. I did use a picture of the pumpkin setup for the cover of the pin, the thumbnail of last month's meeting. That was from a resident's home. So if anyone, I'm just gonna ask all the time, if anyone has a Christmas picture, if it's your house, it's your da da da, and you think it would make a good Christmas card for next year, I am very interested in that. Another thing on my list is yeah, we want to congratulate Stephanie Wimbish for putting on a very nice fall festival for the students. I just had to come back around to that. I'm gonna see if Officer Benz Clark has anything. And while she's figuring that out or taking herself off of mute, I'm gonna say I have a neighbor. I don't know if I want to say they do this on purpose, which thinking that I think it's a really great idea, but they leave before the day, like in the morning. They leave. Okay. I hate that I did that. They leave before daylight in the morning. And what I hear, I think she sets the panic button on her car before she goes out. And I thought that was a really good idea. So if anyone, no one would be expecting that. And it just kind of seems like a safe way to make it to your car. So I wanted to suggest that because I thought that was a really good idea. Even when you're coming home, just hit it and hit it again. Um, we'll get used to it. We sleep really hard. I'm only going to sleep at that time because I have insomnia. That's how I hear it. Also, we will be anybody want to be president? Anybody want to be president?
Who wants this job?
Chickens. Chickens. You're a bunch of chickens, you are. If anybody in YouTube land wants to be president, hit me up. Call me. We can switch houses. It'll be easier that way. If I mean I have to do it because it's the end of the year. So if anybody wants to be president, anybody wants to be a part of the board, we're gonna do yes, ma'am, we've already considered you. um, I'm gonna try to do, don't try, do kind of an application because as I said before, we've had members of the board. It's easier when you know what a person is interested in doing. If someone, a couple of things, if you don't mind gardening, there's a little bit of getting dirty. Can you give me a Saturday once every 6 weeks or something? I know every 6 months it is, to just kind of volunteer for events. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to, but to help vote on things in the community. We need someone, we need a treasurer because I'm it. We need a secretary. Uh, we would not everyone has to be, but we would like to have someone who has a little bit of computer skill. Like I said, somebody who may not mind doing some gardening, helping us with some gardening or whatever. I don't do it, but I'm there. Um, and can volunteer a Saturday every now and then, once every blue moon. This is for the community. It's not paid. It is not paid, but we need people to be involved. I think that's the best way that I can say that. We need you to be involved and to take some of this stuff If I turn this computer a little bit, you'd be surprised. But yeah, outside of that, I felt like there was something else, but who cares? Um, yeah, that's it. The text alerts, love the idea of the text
Mm-hmm.
alerts. People barely want to give you their email address.
Mm-hmm.
So a phone number. Come on. I mean, I'm for it. There has to be a way to do it, blah de blah. But um, yeah, I've always been for that. It's just that my pile is really thick over here. So yeah, if you can figure out a way that we can do that, Miss Kimberly, I'm on board with it. I'm glad to have you be interested. I see you. I see you. I just saw it. Um, I'm glad anybody who's interested. Also, also, my friend, Miss Bronzella Rochelle. I
Oh
have to say
no.
it like that. Yes. That's how I say it in my head, but now there it is. Um, you do Christmas reads also. You
Yes.
make them. So
Yes.
if anybody is interested in Christmas reads, um, we have a Newfield resident who has two of them, but Miss Bronzella also makes them. And you are welcome to put them on Facebook. You
I
are,
have
if
I, ha- I
you
have some
have,
on Facebook under my name, but you mean put
okay.
it on Emerson Heights page?
Oh, on Edmondson Heights page. I'm not sending people to your Facebook. No, put them on Edmondson Heights page. Let them know how to get in touch with you. Or yeah,
Okay,
you're
I'll do
very
that.
welcome to
I,
do so.
I'll do
Yeah.
that. Thank you. But what I wanted to tell you about the texting, it's an app called Group Me, and what you can do is name it Emerson Heights, um, and you can get everybody's phone number on there. And when you send a text out, it will go to everyone that's listed. Oh, you can read up
Okay.
on. I know you're going to read up on it. It's called Group Me. I have the app. I use it
Mm-hmm.
at Woodlawn Senior Center for a class that I'm in.
Mhm.
And when they want to send out something to the people, they send it to the Group Me thing. So check it
Mm-hmm.
out, that app. That's all I wanted to
Sure
say.
will.
And thank you.
Sure
I
will.
will be posting some things on Emerson Heights um
We
Facebook
are
page,
Edmondson Heights Community, I think, on
Emerson Heights
Facebook.
Community. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Uh,
will be posting some of my reefs
yes,
because
ma'am.
Christmas is right
And
around the corner.
yes, it is. And Newfield resident, you can do the same thing with your reads. Um,
That's what I was going to put out there for the flea market. I have a lot of wreaths, all different occasions, different, and I even have
I'm just gonna assume you have everything because I
yeah, I
think
do. I
I
know, but
smell what you cooking.
I have to make room now, but like I said, I got, or if I have border wreaths where I have paid like $50 for them, they're just sitting there collecting dust, and I have
Well,
given
I
them.
don't need you taking money from Miss Bronzella at the moment. I hear
I'm
you.
not. No, I was gonna sell mine for um
Go ahead and
13.
put them on the. Go ahead and put them
Oh
on the
yeah.
page on the Facebook page. I need you to update your picture too because you don't look anything like your picture anymore. There is that. Otherwise, you all pretty much know how to reach me. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Um, and there was something I don't remember what it is, but it
Jacquees,
probably does.
before we go, there
Ma'am,
was an incident down around at the Fair Spring senior apartment. One of the seniors was standing out in the lobby, and it was two young individuals there in the parking lot, and she didn't feel safe, so she called. She didn't know whether to call 311 or 911, but I told her that she needed to reach out to call 911 because they actually broke into one of the residents' cars there on the property. The police were called. I don't know if you guys remember the helicopter was flying around on Sunday.
Mhm.
It was on Sunday that this happened. So just to be mindful, to tell our residents that those, even though the Fair Spring apartments, the senior apartments are part of our community and they do participate, that it is private property. So we shouldn't be on that property unless we're actually visiting someone, and not to
Mhm.
um, take advantage of them, for one, with breaking and trying to enter inside of their cars, or making it unsafe for them to even walk around on their property.
That is true. Apparently on last Monday, as it says, some kid got hit by a car. It's that's what that's what the text message said to me. Last Monday on Ingleside, a kid got hit. They were on a bike, I think is what they said. And
Wow.
so we had choppers. Yeah, there was a chopper out for that for some reason too. So if there was a chopper, it must have been pretty bad.
Yeah, is
Mhm.
that
Um,
when it was blocked off? Because I didn't know what was happening right at the edge of the school and Ingleside, because you
yeah,
had to detour. So, and
yeah, that would have been what that was.
I even tried to see if it showed up on the news, and it did not. Okay, well, I don't watch a whole lot of news because it's depressing.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I was wondering. That's what I was getting ready to ask. What
yeah, and this wasn't
exactly?
during school hours either. It was in the evening. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they blocked it off, and yeah,
Hmm.
somebody's baby got hit. Um, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But also, yeah, so let's watch where we're going. Let's turn our porch lights on. If you haven't paid your dues, please pay your dues so that I can sue you. Um, so,
But
um,
I was going to ask you where I left off at, because I think I'm paid up till the whole year 25. I just want, because I'm gonna go ahead and pay them some more.
yep. I there will be a winter newsletter. What it's going to say, I don't know, but there will be one because they also had, but know that the invoice for paying dues and the envelope will be in the winter newsletter. If anybody has any ideas for the winter newsletter, let me know and I'll create something. I'll figure something out. Um, yeah, bulk trash in the new year, they'll let us know in the new year when those dates will be. So that's not really anything to tell you. Our next meeting is December the 2nd. I
Okay.
should tell myself that also. Our next meeting is December the 2nd at 7:30. And I really hope to see you all there because you all are a
Okay.
trip. Um, you all are a trip, and I appreciate you for even if just coming to a meeting, just supporting us
Hmm.
and making it worth what we do to support the community. Every little bit does mean a lot.
Does help. Yeah.
Um, and we do appreciate you. Um, we will, I'll try to lock Angie down so that she doesn't have any fights in the parking lot because
Mhm.
that's what it will
Yeah.
and we thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you next month on the 2nd, December the
Yeah.
2nd.
I want to
I
commend
think
whoever
Officer,
did that decorations. I love that, the wreath and everything. I thought that was so beautiful. So
that
every
is
time I car wall, I always look at it. Whoever did
a
that.
resident who has adopted that sign. That is Miss
Okay.
Jean Cease. She
Hmm.
adopted the sign. The it's Art and Chris who they do landscaping throughout the
Hmm.
neighborhood, and they put that together on her behalf. If anybody wants to adopt the other two signs, lovely. Because I understand, Miss Michelle, you have reads, so that would be
Yeah, I
nice.
did.
Yeah, the other ones were stolen, but never mind. So,
I
but
know that
yes,
I remember that
thank you
was
all.
happening. Once y'all put
Yeah,
up something, if it's
yeah,
reindeers and everything like that, it's gone.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
crazy.
much. So I had to think about it and take it back. Thank you guys for
Jaquista,
joining us. I want to thank you, Ty, for joining. Yes, ma'am.
before you jump off, someone Newfield resident just wanted to confirm Officer Ben's Clark email address.
It is BINN. No, it's not. No, it's BBINNS hyphen CLARK at Baltimore County MD.gov. Oh, you know what? That's wrong. First of all, let me do this again.
Officer Christie, because I'm not gonna mess up her last name. She put it in the email. I mean in the chat. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For those who are watching the replay and don't see the chat, let's pretend I didn't do that. It is BBINNS hyphen CLARKE at Baltimore County MD.gov. GOV. Yeah. That is Officer Vince Clark. She is our her and Officer McAwicky and Helfenstein, they are our resource officers. They are that's what I want to tell you. They are the people that I put on you when I have a problem with you. And I go, hey, that's who I'm sending to your house. And they get really good results from everybody. So I want to thank everybody for being good to them so they can be good to us. We really do appreciate you guys and what you do. And Officer Schulter. Yes, Officer Shelter. I almost beat you to it. This time of year, we have all kinds of things. This world right now, there's a lot going on, and we have a lot of angry people, and we have a lot of confused people, we have a lot of hurt people, and we know that hurt people hurt people. So Officer Schultz has put her email address in the chat, which is BSHOLTER at Baltimore County MD.gov. She is all things domestic violence except the violence. If you know anybody who needs her as a resource, if you need her as a resource, if that she is our resource officer for that. I do have that information still for all of our officers if you need any of them. They thank you for helping us get these cars out of the neighborhood that are just sitting. But that's it for me. But I want to thank you all very, very much. And thank you all for joining us. Good night. I forgot we were recording.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Everyone.